All right, today we're going to keep going with the distributive property. Before we do that, though, I want to talk about a couple word problems. Okay, first one's about football. So you read along while I read to you. In football, a touchdown is awarded 6 points, and the team then can try for a point after a touchdown. How much is a point after a touchdown worth? Just one. So altogether, you could get 7 points, right? Do you get an automatic 7 points? No, it's automatic 6, and then you have to kick the point after. Write an expression that describes the number of points scored on touchdowns T and points after touchdowns P by one team in a game. All right, so an expression does not have what? Does not have an equal sign. Let's start with the touchdowns first. How much is each touchdown worth? 6 points. Do I know how many touchdowns this team is scoring? What am I supposed to use? T. So how do I represent that? Everybody good with 6T? See where that comes from? Okay, now, if I make the point after, does my score go up or down? Up. Do I know how many point afters I'm going to make? What am I using? P. And how many points do you get for a point after? 1. So you could put 1P. Do you have to have the 1 in front of there? No. So we'll just call it a P. Any questions on that? Anybody? Okay, next part, letter B. If a team wins a football game 27-0, write an equation. So if it's an equation, what does it have to have this time? Equal sign. Write an equation to represent the possible number of touchdowns and points after touchdowns by the winning team. So I'm going to put that down here. So if they score 27 points, how are they getting those 27 points? Touchdowns, and then after the touchdown is point after. So how do we represent touchdowns? How many points? 6. And how many touchdowns do we get? Don't know. What are we using? T. Plus how many points for a point after? For a point after? 1. And I'm using P. How many points do I get total? 27. How's everybody doing there? Does anybody know how you would get 27 points? You would score 4 touchdowns, but 4 touchdowns at 7 points apiece is 28, correct? So if I scored 27, what happened? I missed one of the extra points. Everybody good with letter B here? Okay, moving on. If a team wins a game 21-7, how many possible number of touchdowns and points after touchdowns were scored during the game by both teams? Now you see how it says both teams? So if I put those two scores together, how many points is that? 20, how many? That's 28 points possible, right? How many touchdowns is that? 4. How many points after is that? And 4. What do they call them? PATs? Okay, good. Well done. You guys understand football okay, huh? Okay. All right, moving on. Let's do the dreams problem here. It said, it is believed that about 3/4 of our dreams involve people that we know. Write an expression to describe the number of dreams that feature people that you know if you have D dreams. That says 3/4 of people. What does that little word of mean to do? You got it, multiply. So how do I show 3/4 of our dreams? 3/4 D. Good. And that's an expression just like they asked me for. There's no equal signs in there. That's an expression. Now it says, use the expression you wrote to predict the number of dreams that include people you know out of 28 dreams. What am I going to do with that 28? Put it in for the D. Everybody, that D is dreams, right? That's a whole month, 28 dreams. I don't know about you. I don't dream every night. Do you? What do you get? This is where I want to... This This is where I want to make sure you know how to use a fraction bar in your calculator. Let's go. 3/4 times 28. Does everybody know where their fraction button is? It's the ABC button. This might be different. Yours is this button right here. So you're going to hit that button, type in your 3, down, 4, and then you're going to multiply it by 28, and then hit equals. What you got, Savannah? 21. Who needs help with their fraction button still? Okay, so Dalton, go ahead and grab you're going to type in a 3 first, and then you're going to hit the ABC button, and then you're going to type 4, and then you're going to put times 28, and then equals. Good. Let's see yours. Okay, yours is the N over D button, so hit that N over D button. Okay. Now put in the 3 in the top, and then push the down button for a 4, and then push the over button, and then times 28. We're all good? Everybody's all right? Okay, everybody good with 21? All right, so let's get into our notes for today. I have 4 bullet points here that I need you to remember. Okay, the first thing that we're always going to do, if we can, is we are going to get rid of the parentheses. What property helps me get rid of parentheses? What property? It is multiplying, but what property is it? The distributive property. Remember, the distributive property tells me to multiply the number that's on the outside by every term that's on the inside. After we're done getting rid of the parentheses, you want to try and combine like terms. How do I know if they're like terms? Same variable. It does not have to be the same number, but it does have to have exactly the same variable. You guys remember how I wrote that word exactly yesterday in all caps? Okay. You can only add or subtract with exactly the same variable. Has to be exactly the same. Not close to the same. It has to be exactly the same. Okay. Then you will drop down unused terms. Then we will drop down unused terms. All right, so basically today, I'm going to do the first row of problems, and then we're going to go around the room to do the rest of the problems on the back. Okay, are you ready? You sure? We're going to mix in some vocabulary along the way, just to make sure you understand what I'm telling you up here. Okay, if I ever go too fast, please stop me, and we'll slow down. Sound like a plan? Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at number 1. First thing I want to know is, how do I get rid of those parentheses? Multiply, because what property are we going to do? The distributive property. So what needs to be distributed? The 3. When you distribute the 3, I get 3b plus 6. And then I'm going to drop down the 2b. Tell me why that 2b does not get multiplied by the 3. It's outside the parentheses. So now the parentheses are gone, correct? Do I have any like terms? What do you get when you put them together? And then is there any term that's unused? Plus 6. Now here's where I want to do some vocabulary with you, please. This term on the end does not have a variable. What is it called? From yesterday, what is the term without a variable? If it does not have a variable, it does not vary. What is a word that means to stay the same? Starts with a C. constant. This 6 right here is a constant. Are we good with that? Because I'm going to use that word a lot. Y'all see this 5 in front of that B? Whenever you have a number, I'm up here, whenever you have a number in front of a variable, that's called the coefficient. So the constant has no variable. The number in front of the variable is called a coefficient. Are we okay with all that? Moving on. What needs to be distributed in number 2? Yeah, I'm so glad you said -4. In fact, I'm going to circle it because a lot of people will forget that it's negative. We're going to drop down the 4x. What is -4 times 2? And what is -4 times x? How are we doing here, folks? Any like terms? What do you get when you put them together? 4x minus 4x is 0. Am I going to write the 0? Am I going to write an x? No, they are gone. Poof, they disappeared. What's the only thing that's left? The constant of -8. Do not write the 0. If you write an x, that means there'd be a 1 in front of it, correct? And there's not one of them, there's 0 of them, so we're just not going to write it. What's going to get distributed in number 3? Oh, the 2. So we're going to drop down the 3x. It's not in the parentheses. What is 2 times 5x? 10x. What is 2 times -1? Good. Do I have any like terms? What do you get when you put those like terms together? 13x. Drop down your constant. -2. Question for you. Is this the same as this? No. Is this the same as that? Yes. Perfect. Now, I'm going to tell you what the common mistake here is in number 4. Everybody, or I shouldn't say everybody, if you're going to make the mistake, somebody in here is going to go, oh, 9 minus 4 is 5. I'm going to distribute a 5. Not happening because we have to do the parentheses first. So we're going to be distributing this -4. Drop down the 9. What is -4 times x? -4x. What is -4 times -4? Good, +16. Do I have any like terms? Yes, which ones? This says 9 plus 16. What is 9 plus 16? And then we'll drop down the -4x. Okay, you guys are doing well. Is everybody following? How's the pace? Too fast, too slow, or just right? Just right? Okay, let's flip it over to the back. I'm going to start over here with Dalton. We'll start over here with Tyler. Ready? Okay. Distribute the 2 for me, sir. Good. Now distribute the 3. How's everybody doing? Luke, any like terms there for me? Nope, this one right here. What do you get? Anything else? What is 6 minus 12, sir? It will be -6. Would it be okay if you put +6? No. Somebody did try and tell me that 6 minus 12 was 6. Type it in your calculator. I would rather have you take a minute and type it in your calculator and get it right than guess and get it wrong. All right, over to Mr. Crawford. Distribute, please. Good. Up to Trevor. Anything to combine? Oh, I'm on number 6 here. Do you have a negative in front of there? Gotcha. Okay, let's go here. Everybody following Trevor, okay? Okay. Up to Brayden. No, you're next. Fly. Okay, what am I distributing, Brayden? What am I distributing? The -5. So this -5 is going to get distributed to both of those. We're going to drop down the 2x. So what is -5 times x? And what is -5 times 1? -1, excuse me. It's a negative times a negative? +5. Is everybody following that? Don't make that easy mistake. It'll throw your whole answer off. Cody, anything to combine? Gives me. And then? Wonderful. Back to Quentin. Can you distribute for me, please? Good. Uh-huh. Good. You all heard how we said a positive 7y, right? Okay, over to Savannah. Like terms, please, ma'am. Okay. And then what else? Good. Wonderful. I feel like we're kind of rolling along here. Is everybody keeping up okay? 2 more rows to go. All right, Dalton. Distribute for me, please. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh. -3a. Back over to Tyler. Any like terms, sir? Does everybody see both of those -3a's? The common mistake is to tell me they cancel each other out. They do not. What is -3 minus 3? -6, and those are a's. Everybody all right with that? Okay, what's the rest of it going to be, Tyler? Yep, and it does not have to be in that order, folks. Does not have to be in that order. All right, Luke, let's distribute with these m's and n's here. Now there we go, plus, right? Good. Be careful there. Gauge, like terms. Gives you negative how many? I think you multiplied. It's 2 minus 5. And those are MNs. Any other like terms that go together? Nope, so we'll just drop everything else down. And again, it does not have to be in that order, but if you're going to switch the order up, you got to have the symbols right. Okay. Brayden, I got no parentheses here. There's nothing to distribute. So I just need to know what can go together. What does that give you? 1y. Folks, do you have to write the 1 in front of the y? No, so I'm just going to write a y. What else goes together? And? Yeah, all of it. What do you get? Just y? Because what's 12 minus 6? What's 12 minus 6? Minus another 6. 0. Okay, guys, didn't we just say there's... Okay, listen. 12 minus 6 is 6. Minus another 6 is 0. There are no more of them. So it's just this. Those are gone. They cancel each other out. Cody, I'm back to you. Again, no parentheses. You just need to tell me what goes together. Is that one in the middle an xy? So can it go with them? No. So really only those two go together. What do you get when you put them together? X, Y. And then you're going to drop down the unused term. Still doing all right? Yeah? All right, Quentin. Distribute, please, sir. Okay. Back up to Savannah. Any like terms here? Gives you. And how about those M's? 83 M. Questions? One more? Call it good? Okay, Dalton, can you distribute for me? Good. Anybody want to finish it since we're back to the beginning again? Go ahead, combine it for me. What do we combine here?
The two Y's.
Gives you?
45.
And
24.
uh-huh.
10.
And then what needs to be dropped down? Does it matter if I put that at the end or in the front? I'm going to put it in the front because x's come before y's. And normally the constant goes at the end. Do you have any questions for me? All right. Is anybody having any issues logging onto their textbook? Okay. Go ahead and get started.